Hello, my name is Daniel Yuck. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you, your time, and your support. In today's video, I want to talk about this plugin that I've been working on entirely by myself with ChatGPT. 98% of this plugin was coded with ChatGPT code, while about 1 to 2% was coded with Google Gemini. This plugin project that I've been working on solo with AI has now reached a whopping, I think I'm about over 15,000 lines or so. I did make a massive update today, so I think last time I checked I was at around 16,400 something. Now we're beyond that. I'm probably closer to the 17,000 lines of working code. Specifically, every single line was pretty much written with AI. Prior to this plugin project, I had zero C++ experience, so I could not write a single line of code myself. So what I did was I turned my ideas, my architecture, and my engineering side into text, and then that text turned it into working code. I've been working on this project solo for about 3 months, which was previously called Snackbox, but I am in the middle of renaming it, so I don't have the permanent name. As you can see, it's a blank plugin, but it was initially called Snackbox. What I want to do though is take some time and show you basically how all of these lines of codes are working together and what it currently does. I really can't exhaust enough that I have not written a single line of code within my entire project on my own, as I am still learning. I do go now and correct some code. I'm able to spot what's right and what's wrong, so I am learning as I'm developing this project. So I am literally learning C++ as I am going, and here is how far I've gotten on my own. I'm the only one that's ever touched this entire code base, again with AI. I have a specific system that I've built to help me get this far, and today, for example, the system that I use keeps yielding me results. I have added a major update. Before I had a global envelope shaper, but now I have attack, decay, sustain, release. They all have their own curve type, which is really cool. So per layer, each layer A, B, C, and D is going to also have attack, decay, sustain, release. Each one's going to have their own curve type. I'm going to go in later on today and add a different pitch type as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use the same system that I've been using to keep scaling. I've designed this plugin in a manner that allows me to keep adding onto it indefinitely. It allows me to create endless sound expansions indefinitely, but it also allows you to create expansions and share them easily as well. Let's go ahead and get into that. Here is a blank shell of my plugin here, which was previously called Snackbox. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an expansion in real time. So I'm just going to click expand there. I'm going to navigate to my hard drive that contains my sample folders, and then from there I'm going to go ahead and hit open. So you can see I'm selecting the round robin sample folder, which has a bunch of different round robin folders within. I can select that one. I could do OP1. The idea is wherever you save your sample folder, you can go ahead and load it. Snackbox is designed to allow us to put samples at any location because waves tend to be typically heavy in file size. So if you want to have your waves on an external drive, you can do that. So here we go. I'm just going to do the OP1 samples for this demonstration, and I'm just going to leave it as is, but you can go ahead and rename it if you want. So like, for example, I can go ahead and like title this one Retro Game Sounds, just to kind of get the point across. And then from here I'm going to hit OK. As you can see, when I create the expansion, it populates to the expansion browser list right here, as well as the drop down. If I go over here to the sample loader, you can see we're now pointing to that folder with our samples that we just recorded. We can do this with any sample we like. All we have to do is create a folder, compile our samples in there, and then you can see we load them right up. From here, I can use all of these onboard parameters to begin shaping the sound any way that I'd like. As I mentioned, you can see the attack has 4 different curve types. The decay has 4 different curve types as well. The sustain does also have 4 different curve types, but it's just going to stay a straight line across per its sustain. You can see the release right here also has 4 different curve types. This allows us to really shape our sounds. We have not even touched the effects yet, but just using these shapers right here definitely gives us a world of control. So I went ahead and I added that per layer. And then that was the update that we did today. You can see everything is syncing. When we save a preset, everything does save within. Here we have the volume, and then I'm going to do the same thing as add some more pitch types. If I want, I can go ahead and loop this, but I'm not. I'm going to leave that off. As you can see, we can do reverse if we like. If I need to normalize it, I can go ahead and do so. You get the idea. Here, everything is quickly accessible. This phase feature hasn't been implemented, so I don't know what this is going to be yet. Right here I have a fade system as well, so if I wanted to add some sort of fade onto my current sample, you can see even the fades have different curve types as well. And I can get more realistic right here with the behavioral panel. So here we have different interpolation modes, round robin modes. You can see we have backwards ping pong, chaos, random, and cycle. Velocity sensitivity as well. I love these features here. It really does bring out the best in like real world samples like acoustics, pianos. You get the idea. Root note, one shot, pretty standard, straightforward stuff. And then from here we have the frequency spectrum. We could either turn it on and off if we'd like to save CPU. So all of this is all working together. Let me go ahead and kind of save a preset and some sounds real time here. Let's see what we can do. I'm just going to go ahead and create some sounds here real time so you can kind of get an idea as to what it would be like making an expansion pack with my plugin here. And then I'm going to hit save. Once I get a cool little sound going, I'm just going to title this one something random like static drops. You get the idea. So you would kind of name your sounds accordingly. And then I'm also going to expand it to where this is going to have a whole bunch of different information. So that way we have an archive of different sounds, as my plugin is going to ship with a massive sample library. So you can see I'm just going to go ahead and title some things here like this. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of fill some of these out. We can go ahead and check what is, related to the sound that we created. Once we do all of that, you would just hit save metadata, and you can see now our presets populate within the preset expansion list. Within the preset browser list and within the preset drop down right here. And we would essentially just continue this process over and over. So if I load another sound here, I can do it by clicking this menu, or I can just simply click on these right here and kind of just run through these sounds here. The voices and all of that have nothing to do with like the sound. It's just the amount of voices that can play at one time. I am simply moving them around so that way I confirm that each parameter that I select is saving into the preset. So if we go ahead and remember these options here, when I come back, they should load in the exact same way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and title this one stacks. Again, just something, random. And then I'm going to go from here, just click another one, and then I'm going to hit save there. So you can see, once again, it populates here. So if I go ahead and go back to static drops, you can see they do navigate back and forth between each other. The parameters adjust as well, as you can see right here. And then basically we would begin creating our expansion packs like so. So that's the concept, really straightforward. I can really do this all day, as I love creating sounds and expansions here. Let me go ahead and try this again here. So let's do round robins. I'm going to hit OK. And then from over here, you can see that we now have access to those folders. Let's say if I click one, like let's do this giddy up one. This one's kind of fun here. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this accordingly. You can hear the loop mode is on. Let's deactivate that. Take down some. Then let's go ahead and do this one on cubic. And I want to do this 64 voices. Round robin mode, I'm going to do ping pong here to give it more of a realistic sound. As you can hear it. analyzer on. So that sounds really cool. Once I get a cool sound going, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And keep in mind, round robin mode is on, so it's cycling through a series of samples, giving us a realistic feel. And this one I'm just going to title Groovin'. And same thing, you would just kind of fill this out accordingly. This is going to be expanded. There's going to be a whole load of different, metadata information here that we can fill out. We don't have to fill any of this out if we don't want to, but it helps other people find sounds that are using the platform and your expansions. So from here, I'm going to hit save. You can see the same thing. It populates over here, and I'm good to go. And you can see if we click on the little Relink icon, it's showing us the locations of our sample folders right here. We can also use this to relink our folders. Snackbox can read from multiple places at one time, so we don't have to have, like, if we want to have one sample pack or a specific collection on one hard drive and then another collection of other sample packs on another hard drive. Snackbox is currently coded to do that, and I'm going to leave it like that indefinitely. Very producer respected. Let's run a stress test. We shouldn't experience any crashing or anything like that. However, it's important to note that I am using Black Hole to record the audio and my voice at the same time. So in order to do that, it's really weird with Mac. So that may interfere with some sort of like MIDI playback. However, the code base itself within Snackbox, the name is soon to be changed. The current code base is solid, is scalable, and it is working exactly the way that it should. So let me go ahead and show you some tests here. We're going to take it up to an extreme BPM and then kind of hear how it holds up. So as you can hear, it's stable, it's consistent, it plays exactly the way that it should. I don't ever recommend running any project on any plugin at 900 plus BPM. That's just silly, so unnecessary, it's not needed. But the idea is I want to give you all a stress test so that we can kind of hear the system, and I wanted to prove the point that this amount of lines of code is working exactly as intended. I feel like there's a notion with AI that it tends to write buggy code. While there is a load of truth to that, there's also another aspect of that where it also writes really good code that's contained, robust, and working exactly as intended. The code base that I am currently writing, or I'm sorry, that AI is currently writing with me is consistent, it is highly stable, and it is working. As you can hear, it's predictable, it feels snappy, it feels great. Everything is checking out as of now. Granted, I'm sure there's going to be bugs that arise later on, which I will tackle when they come up. But as of right now, with the current system that I'm using to build, you can hear that I'm getting and yielding really good results. I've designed this plugin to be very user-friendly, to give us a very quick workflow. The UI is not permanent. I'm still actively designing it, and there is a major design change coming up here soon. So as of right now, this is all just beta. I want to get a small group of beta testers here so that way you can give me feedback and let me know what you like, what you don't. You can see though, I can do this with any sample. So like, let's say if I go to like another sound here that I recorded, let the sounds load in there. You can hear I get a very realistic sound from here. And keep in mind, this is a series of samples playing. We're not hearing the same sample. Let me kind of show you what I mean. Let me turn off the behavioral system so that way you can hear before and after. So this is with the before, and watch me turn it off real time so that way you can hear it. So you can hear that's actually cycling through samples. I know it's very, very subtle, but that's what round robin and like behavioral systems are. We're not really supposed to see it. We really hear it once we set specific parameters for different sounds. Same thing would apply. So I would go from here if I really like that sound. And that's one of my real world guitars that I sample. And that's going to be in the collection that ships with the final sample expansions here, or with the final expansions that I ship with my plugin, forgive me. So I'm just going to title this one Beautiful Guitar. You get the idea. And then the same thing, I could kind of just check everything off here. And then there we go. We now have this preset. And we just navigate between. I want to do a little load test here so that way you could see how quickly it loads between presets and expansions. When we are loading, there is mild like hiccups if we're playing audio. If we're not playing audio, then we don't hear any of that. It's really snappy, really punctual, really predictable, which is exactly what I was going for. Let me demonstrate. Keep in mind, we have to load into the round robin folder so that way the system cycles through the samples. So it's doing that pretty cleanly, I feel. Everything sounds great, exactly the way it's supposed to sound. And that's no effects or anything like that. That's just basic shaping. So I can only imagine the sound's only going to keep improving as I keep scaling on it.
1, 5, 9,
So let me show you a round robin test here. So let me go ahead and kind of prove the system is working. I'm going to go ahead and select off, and then I'm just going to play the samples back here, which is designed to kind of test the round robin system.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
So you can see that it's playing the same sample over and over. But if I go to cycle, it's going to cycle from 1 through 9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And that's just me pressing the same key over and over. And you can hear random. Each mode actually works, and this is how you can confirm on your end as well.
2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 4, 1, 3, 8,
Chaos.
5, 4, 9, 3, 1, 8, 3, 1, 5, 1, 8, 6, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 5,
Backwards.
4, 3, 2, 1, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 9.
And then I'm going to go ahead and do ping pong. You're going to see it's going to count back and forth now.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now we hear hints of 10 there because I forgot to chop off 10 from the last sample 9. But yeah, you get the idea. The round robin system is robust and working exactly as intended. We really hear it though once we start setting specific round robin parameters and behavioral parameters with specific samples. It really starts to shine. As you can hear though, there was just a little load time just loading in all of the round robin samples. Some of my round robins have around 8 samples while others have 60 to 70 and so forth. We can have as many round robin samples as we'd like, and the system is coded to cycle through every single one of them once we format them a specific way, which is actually really easy and intuitive. I'll show you that in another video. But as you can see though, all of the code that ChatGPT generated, which is over 16,000 lines now, is working. Everything is smooth, everything is clean. Granted, I intend on working on this almost indefinitely for the duration of my lifetime, so there's going to be constant updates, more systems implemented and everything. So of course nothing is ever truly done, nothing is ever really perfect, but for using AI, for not knowing any C++ at all, I feel like I am finding success with it. As you can see here, this header is just a basic header right here that has just basic straightforward options that we would use in any session of creation. Save preset as, we have a save, load, delete, refresh, reset, we have a relink, and this right here, we can actually select sample folders from any drive. Here takes us directly to our sample folder for the selected expansion, as you can see. But all in all, everything here is ready to go, straightforward and working. There are placeholders, like for example, this area right here is all placeholder. None of this is active besides layer A, which I am finalizing, as you can see here. But all in all, I'm very happy with the results that I got. I do have a lot of ambitious ideas for this plugin, which I intend on actually bringing to life. I'm also going to put some start point and end markers, so we can go ahead and select start and end markers as well. A whole bunch of good stuff. The effects, the chomp custom system, my arpeggiator system, the sound management, all of that is also going to be implemented, and I am not taking no for an answer. I could talk about this all day, but to conclude this video, the point is that I do have over 16,000 lines of functioning, working code. None of it's glitchy. I mean, granted, as I've mentioned, I do have much room for improvement and scalability. However, for establishing a base engine, I feel like I am finding success and doing all right, considering I'm about 3 to 4 months into C++, and now I'm very happy with the results that I've proven here. I've done this entire project on my own. No one else has touched this code base but myself and ChatGPT. A little bit of Gemini, but mostly just me and ChatGPT. You can see everything is working as intended. Everything is predictable. Everything is clean and everything is snappy, which I am very grateful for. I'm going to continue with the same workflow and process that I have been to continue scaling this plugin, and I do plan on releasing it maybe around January once I get the base engines done here, and then all of these placeholders wired up and everything's functioning. I want to get to a base state, and then from there I'm going to continue just providing updates and scaling it indefinitely. That is the idea. That is the goal. If you find this video helpful at all, consider subscribing to my channel, as I would greatly appreciate your support. If this video is inspiring to you some way, or if you at least like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up, as I would greatly appreciate that as well. Should you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. I'll do my best to assist in the best possible direction. With that being said, I thank you for watching and I appreciate your time. Have a great day.